the inflammation that these foods cause alarm your immune system. It puts it on high alert. So your body says, hey, those stem cells, those white blood cells, we need you to go take care of this leaky gut. We talked about leaky gut. We need you to go take care of this. We need you to go take care of that. And it's an alarm. And this is good if you have something real going on. You've had a lesson for it. But it's not good if it's because you ate a pint of Haagen-Dazs.
I'm Christy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening.
And a very special welcome to you. Thank you for joining us on Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I am your host, Christy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and I am joined, like many of our podcasts, with Carrie Thompson. Carrie, for those people who do not know you, would you please do us a pleasure of introducing yourself?
Who doesn't know me by now, Christy? Christy, do you remember the time that you made the joke about me being a doctor and something about me being a physician? And it was just a funny thing that Christy and I joke about. Well, somebody wrote below it, I'm so sorry, Dr. Thompson. I was like, Christy! They're like, where did you go to medical school? I'm like, Christy, I can't believe you. And this is early Code Red days. It was hilarious. And it's a family joke. You'd have to sit around with us to know about it. But guys, I am not a physician. I am a nurse, a registered nurse. I currently have held licenses in many states, currently have one in Alaska, working on one for Kentucky, just so I can be diverse. But my name is Carrie Thompson. I'm the Chief Operations Officer here at Code Red Fitness and Nutrition. And I help Christy. I always joke that I run the ship and Christy's out buying new ships for the fleet. So that's my job. I make sure, like, imagine a big cruise ship. I'm making sure everyone has their steamed broccoli at 2 a.m., their warm glass of milk, all the towels.
Ain't nobody craving steamed broccoli at 2 a.m. on a cruise ship, but I like that.
I did remember one time on a cruise, there was an all-night Caesar salad bar, and I remember thinking that was pretty cool. That's what I do. I make sure the Caesar salad bar stays open and there's clean towels and everyone's sheets are. And Christy, her job is to say, how many more ships can we buy for the fleet? So that is what I do here for Code Red. But I am a registered nurse, and I do have a background in open heart ICU trauma nursing. For many, many years, took care of septic patients, dialysis patients. I'm not a dialysis nurse, but took care of those patients. I've seen some pretty ugly situations, and I have definitely walked through some pretty sad things with people. And so Chrissy stole me away a couple years ago, and now wiping heinies is a little bit of a distant memory. I could still get back on the bike and ride if I had to, but it's a little bit of a distant memory.
Well, let's hope you don't have to. And also, you came from a teaching background too.
I did. I taught graduate school and undergraduate nursing students for many years. Love teaching. And so I'm hoping that I can get out some of my skills today to share with you some thoughts.
So a lot of these podcasts, you guys, Carrie and I ping and pong quite a bit, but you're going to hear a lot of information mostly from Carrie because I am having her on mostly as a guest instead of a co-host on this show because we are talking about the immune system. And this is relevant, especially the time that we have gone through early 2020, but it is relevant all the time. These are things that you need to know and some facts, some easy to understand materials, some stuff that we're doing wrong, some stuff that we're doing right. You need to know the facts. And a lot of people don't know who to trust and who to turn to. And I think that we're a good resource.
Immunity is such an interesting thing, guys. I'm going to give you some practical tips and tricks. So as long as you're not driving, please get out your pen and your paper and turn with me to Psalms 20. No, I'm teasing. Get out your pen and paper because I am going to give you, as long as you're not driving, I'm going to give you some practical tips, things that you can take away. Because a lot of times people speak to us about topics, Christy. A lot of experts talk to us, but they can't come down to our level. And like our mom says, yeah, but how? Yeah, but why? And Christy and I are big. That's one thing that I think that is a good skill of mine, is that I can explain complex things, try to make it simple. Sometimes I get the pathophysiology wrong, and I do get little notes from my physician friends and my nurse practitioner friends like, I'm like, well, but it makes sense. But so I try to explain complex things in easy to understand language, and I give you takeaways. And that's one thing that Christy is really good at, is that you can tell people all you want. Well, this is how you lose weight, and this is how this works, and this is behind that. And you know what, Christy, if it doesn't make sense and if it doesn't apply to your life, then you're going to go away going, oh, I have some more knowledge from my head. It doesn't make any sense.
And that's what is frustrating, about, and you've been really great to me about that, because you can put me on a panel with MDs and chemists and biologists and stuff, but the audience generally likes what I say because I put it in real terms. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a chemist or a biologist, but people can, I break it down for them because most of us just don't get it, the kind of stuff that the way that they talk. And I get the way that we talk. I like the way that we break it down.
One of the most eye-opening things for me, Christy, was one of the conferences that we attended. And I listened to a medical doctor, and most of the time I can get everything they're saying unless they get real researchy. And then I'm like, oh, like when I was a brand new nurse, I used to sit and report. Report is when you give off shift reports, the next shift coming on. And I would sit there, Christy, and they would go JP to the left admin. And I didn't know. So I'd write down JP. And they'd be like, indwelling cath, it's been in. And I would write down, I didn't know what those things meant. So that's how I feel sometimes. And afterwards I'd be like, what do these things mean to a nurse? So, I listened to a doctor, and they used real life language, and they talked about the liver being like a customs agent. And that has stuck with me. Has stuck with me. Exactly. And I want to give you analogies that will help you understand immunity. Guys, how is it that the flu season hits, or, a bad cold is going around, or have you heard about a GI bug? How many of you have friends on Facebook and they are always sick? They are always sick. Have you ever, I can't even tell you the number of times that I have seen posts of, oh, Kinsey's got the GI bug that's going around again. Prayers. Emoji. Hey, those things are real. They're tough. I understand. When I was a brand new nurse, Chrissy, I was sick for like the first 6 months. And now, knock on wood, I hardly ever get sick because I was exposed to so much crap.
Well, it's been like freaking 5 years since I've been sick.
Oh, yeah. When I first married Brandon, I was a nurse before we got married. He got sick for like the first couple months, and he was like, you're bringing stuff home to me. And I may have been inadvertently just not realizing I was doing that. Who knows, on pins. I tried really hard. But guys, he was around healthy soldiers all the time. Well, of course you're not going to get sick. So why is it that 100 people in an office building all get exposed to this GI bug or the flu season? Now, we're not talking about, vaccinations and flu shots aside. How is it some of them are like, I'm so sorry you're sick, Sally. Oh, you heard about Betty? She's out. She is out. Woo, she is down with this flu. Everyone was exposed. So why do some people have more of a tendency to get sick? We have family members like this. Chrissy knows what I'm talking about. And some just don't. And I think part of it is exposure. My first husband's mom never let them go outside and play. And when he went to kindergarten, Christy, he spent almost the entire first year out because he had never played in the dirt and gotten bugs and been around stuff to get dirty and nasty and sick. And you just build up immunity that way. So that was very interesting to me. So here's how the immune system works. Let me just give you a quick lesson that is probably not all, it's a little bit super simple. Guys, immune system comes from your bone marrow. So in your bone marrow, that's why people that have cancer, bone cancer, and have chemotherapy, and everyone that has chemotherapy, the idea of chemo is to wipe everything out. And then we let the good build back out. So we wipe out the good and the bad. That's why people on chemo are so sick. That's why they have a chance to get infections and viruses that the rest of us don't get because they've wiped out everything. So if you wipe out if your immunity comes from your bone marrow, what comes out of your bone marrow are stem cells, and they can basically turn into anything you need. They can go to your gut and start fighting. It depends on what's going on in your body, and you're making millions of these every 10 minutes. I mean, you are constantly renewing and turning over your immune system. So this is what we want in a situation where we want to strengthen our immunity, where we want to uplift our immunity. We want to be making these stem cells. We want the factories to be strong. We want it just choom, choom, choom. They're working. There's not a reason they're not working. They're turning out stem cells. The stem cells can go and be what they're needed. Again, that's a super simple explanation, but they can go be where they're needed. The white blood cells can go fight where they're needed. These are your soldiers, guys, and your body makes them from your bone marrow. So we want our immune system to regenerate often and be really good at regenerating. So, in the other way we do this is something Christy and I have talked about called autophagy. Autophagy is when bad parts are eaten up. Like Christy says, a big Pac-Man. Run it. Remember that? And the Pac-Man goes along and eats up misshapen proteins, parts of cells that are, they're on their last leg. They're working hard. They're not working very well. They get eaten up. So we want that system, the system of autophagy and cell renewal, to work really well. These things are what make up your immunity. So a lot of people say, Carrie, what is this whole thing with antibodies? Guys, what is a vaccination? What does it mean when you build immunity and when you build an antibody to something? Somebody's like, oh, I'm eating mold, I'm building antibodies. Have you heard people say that, Christy, before?
No.
Oh, yeah. People love that. Or when you get a vaccination. Now, again, I'm not trying to make our anti-vaccination people upset. I'm just going to explain this to you very simple. When you get a vaccination or when your body is forced to make an antibiotic to it, what you're doing is you're giving your body a lesson. So your body gets a small number of this through the dirt, through somebody else, getting a mild version of something, through a vaccination. Your body gets a lesson. Okay, we're teaching the body a lesson, a small lesson. So your body goes, oh, so we're not supposed to have this, right? And you go, yeah, that's how it works. So guess what your body does? It makes antibodies to fight off that because you've given it a lesson. So in the instance of my ex, when he was a kid, he didn't get any lessons. So when he went to school, he got really, really sick because he never had a chance to build up antibodies. Sorry, I'm trying to say those two words at the same time. Same idea with when you get a vaccination. I know there's a lot of controversy about that, but it's just a lesson so your body knows how to fight it when it sees it again. Okay, that all makes sense, guys. How does this apply to you? So when you eat crap, and yes, I typed the word crap into my computer. My computer will autocorrect crap. It knows what that means. Or you do crap to your body, you are alarming your immune system. Now, Dr. Jeff Bland, a leading doctor in functional medicine, the father of functional medicine, wrote the book, The Disease Delusion. He's a great guy. He came up with this idea about alarming the immune system. He used that word alarming. I want to make sure and give him credit for that. And we don't want to alarm our immune system, Christy. So when we eat Doritos, when we eat Cheetos, when we, and with a lot of the flu season going on and a lot of this crazy things going on in our world and a lot of bad infections and bad viruses, bad bacteria out there, you don't want to have an alarmed immune system. The inflammation that these foods cause alarm your immune system. It puts it on high alert. So your body says, hey, those stem cells, those white blood cells, we need you to go take care of this leaky gut. We talked about leaky gut. We need you to go take care of this. We need you to go take care of that. And it's an alarm. And this is good if you have something real going on. You've had a lesson for it. But it's not good if it's because you ate a pint of Haagen-Dazs.
Exactly.
We don't want to alarm our immune system because we want our immune system to work when we need it and work in a very real way. That can't happen if you're overtaxing it when you're eating crap you're not supposed to.
Well, so you don't feel good and you go to have comfort food like Top Ramen and noodles and Haagen-Dazs and a full sugar Sprite. You are alarming your immune system to
Yes.
fight off something it doesn't need to fight off. I mean,
So
it
it's on
does need
high
to fight
alert.
off, but you're
Yeah, it'd be like
wasting your
it'd be like
soldiers.
exactly. It'd be like lining up a bunch of soldiers, like my husband probably did when he was a first sergeant, and having them at parade rest and stay there. Stay there. Stay there. They're on high alert. You know, they got their guns or whatever pose that is. I probably should get them in here and make sure I got the right one. Otherwise, our army people are going to be writing into us. But they're at high alert when they could be at ease, guys, at ease, you know? So you don't need your army at high alert because you decided to go have Taco Tuesday with your friends.
Yep. And you need to understand the real key words here that Carrie said. You decided. You chose this for your body. You chose to eat that chemical processed crap that your body does not know how to break down. And instead of it breaking down and using it for your muscles and your brain and things like that, it doesn't know what to do. It's scared. It's now on high alert, and you've just caused inflammation. You chose to do that.
And I think what's important here, guys, is that a lot of times on Code Red on this podcast, Chrissy and I have talked about the inflammatory properties of junk food. Now, we're just in case you don't know, we're talking about food that is made to look like a real food. It is calorie dense, but it has no nutrition. It is nutritionally depleted, but it has lots of calories. It has chemicals. It is made in a factory. It is shelf stable. Can I get a whoop whoop for Teddy Grahams, Cheetos, Ho-Hos, Frosties, Slurpees? These are not real foods, folks. And I cannot believe that if you have been listening to this podcast for any amount of time, that you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about cauliflower rice in a bag from Costco. I'm talking about pizza rolls in a bag from Costco. I'm talking about Cheese Whiz in a can and chicken biscuit crackers.
Well, even goldfish
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Goldfish and Go-Gurts loaded with sugar.
Yeah, sugar tubes. I tell my daughter, she's like, "Can I have a Go-Gurt?" I'm like, "You want a tube of sugar?"
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the stuff that alarms your immune system. It disperses your soldiers, and it wears out your poor little soldiers for something that you caused.
So when we eat these foods, they cause an inflammatory response. Here's the problem. This behavior, every time you eat, and other behaviors, which we will talk about, you are either becoming more susceptible, you are becoming a more susceptible host to an infection, a flu, a sickness, an illness, Sally's GI bug, whatever it is, you are either becoming more susceptible or you are becoming less susceptible every time you eat and do other behaviors. But eating is what we talk about a lot on Code Red. So how does your behavior allow for you to become less susceptible or more susceptible? Guys, it's not all about being a size 6. It's not all about looking bikini ready. It's not all about that kind of crap. Sometimes it is truly life or death in certain situations and times that we have gone through as a country. So I think it's really important not to be like looking trim and fit, although that's nice. I love looking trim and fit. That's important. But I want to talk about something very basic, and that is your life, your health, guys.
I like that. Like, to me, when you say it, a more susceptible host or a less susceptible host, to me, it is black and white. It's this one or this one. And it's so far, right? It's so far beyond a little bit of cellulite on your thighs or does your collarbone stick out or not? Like, it's so far behind. There's so much more that goes into this. I mean, we're talking about, can you fight off an infection? What are you doing to yourself to make you weak or strong?
Does this mean that if you eat Code Red, you're never going to get sick? No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't write me a letter and be like, Carrie said I would never get sick and then I got a cold. You know, there are a lot of other factors in play in immunity. I've made it sound very, very simple. It is a lot more complex.
But it's not as complex as people think.
However, you can either tip the scale or you can't.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Here's why, guys. Your gut is filled with bugs, microbes. Okay, your gut is full of it. People have talked about the gut being the second brain. We know that your intestines and the microbes in there, the good versus the bad, it's the balance of it. It's the yin and the yang, guys. It is the balance. It is how things go. And these gut microbes control your cravings. They control your digestion. They control how you feel, how you wake up, how you feel when you go to sleep. Guys, the microbiome is truly the next frontier of science, and there's a lot out there that I will not get into. But if you get your bad gut bugs and your good gut bugs out of balance, you're going to have some trouble. Leaky gut syndrome, SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. We talk about that, or people talk about that a lot in this functional medicine field. Why is it when you have a UTI, you take an antibiotic, you get a yeast infection?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because you're wiping out your good boys.
Good boys, bad boys. So, Christy, have you noticed that we tell rebels shop the perimeter of the grocery store?
Yep.
Because shopping the perimeter are your good dairy items. Of course, we don't drink cow's milk, but your butters, your creams, your sour creams. And then we go over to meat and seafood and your scallops. Christy loves a good scallop. We come around the edge to your salads, we come around to all of your phytonutrients and your bell peppers and your mushrooms and all the fungus and the good things. The perimeter of the store is where the good stuff is at. And so that is why Christy and I tell you this, because every decision you make either helps your good gut bugs fight off immunity, which immunity is tied to the gut, or you're going to be in trouble. So I think you guys understand that idea. We need to feed our diversity. And I don't know how much more clear we could make it, guys. It's like Christy says, you dig your grave with your fork. And in some situations, that could be even more. The family member that we have that gets sick all the time, they live on processed food and diet Pepsi.
Yep.
Don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. And it's not just what you eat. It's sleeping or lack of sleep, which is going to put you in this category or that category. The lack of sleep is going to wear down your immune system. Sleeping good. I know that the first part of 2020, with us dealing with the COVID-19, I have been extra careful to get a lot of sleep, and also staying hydrated. That's a great way to help your immune system produce good soldiers and be on guard for you.
Yeah. And so let me give you guys, if this is your piece of paper and a pencil time, what can you do? I think we've made it very clear in this podcast. Number one, don't eat empty calories. Don't eat frankenfoods. And am I talking about that you need to go to the hillside of Tibetan monks and harvest their root vegetable and kill a chicken? And no, I'm not saying all that. I'm saying instead of having personal pan pizzas for dinner, have some rotisserie chicken and broccoli with butter. Guys, we're not talking about big, huge, crazy changes. We're just talking about little things away from fake food to real food. So if you can, and you are already doing these things, here are some other things. Let's say you're living the Code Red lifestyle. You're like, Carrie, I'm doing it. I'm eating real food. What are some other things I can do for my immunity? I think the biggest thing is like what Christy and I talked about. Get away from the fake food. I don't care how stressed you are. You're making things worse. You're alerting your immune system to a threat that is not there when you eat crap food. And I want to make that super clear. Like that is the first thing you can do. Okay. The next thing is if you want to up your game, okay, if you just want to up your game, there are a couple things I think are really, really helpful. Eat your veggies, guys. And if you have the opportunity to eat different colored veggies, I love that. The other day I said to my husband, do you like eggplant? And he's like, I don't know. I haven't had it in a while, except for maybe covered in sauce and cheese, like an eggplant parmesan. You know what I mean? But why not try something new? Try a different veggie. Try something that's a different color than you would normally eat. Like Chrissy said, you've got to stay hydrated. My God, how much do we talk about this on this show? We talk about it all the time. Stay hydrated. Hydration affects your immune status. It absolutely does. And I think, how many times do you go to the hospital, Christy, and they're like, not you, but a person goes to the hospital like, okay, this guy's sick. Let's just give him a liter of fluid. He's going to feel better. Even if it's not the flu, if it's just a bad cold, when Bobby comes in and gets that swab, they just might go ahead and give him a liter of fluid just to help him feel better. Yep. So I think you might want a liter of fluid to help you feel better.
Yeah.
There are some foods, Christy, that do help with your immunity. Here they are. Are you ready? Garlic. I have a garlic roaster, Christy, and it sits in a place of honor in my kitchen now. I love that thing. If you can't eat roasted garlic and be happy, oh my gosh, you guys, garlic is so good for immunity. Please eat garlic. My mom, our mom, will eat roasted garlic. She squishes it out. You know how you cut off the top, put a little bit of oil and salt and pepper on it, stick it in the oven, let it roast, and then you turn it upside down, you squish and it comes out like a sort of like popping a zit. That's gross. I know. But for people that like zit popping, they would love that. But you squish that garlic out and it's like butter. You can spread it on things. So good for you guys. So try to incorporate garlic. Ginger is a great food to incorporate. And I'm not talking about ginger chicken from the drive-through at the
P.F. Chang's.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about adding ginger to your food. There's really simple ways to do that, guys. Grate a little bit of ginger, and a little goes a long way with ginger. Spinach. I personally love to cook some wilted spinach at the end of my scrambled eggs, at the end of my sausage and cream cheese mixed together. Mix it in with my salad. Eat a little bit of spinach. Any of your leafy greens are going to help with immunity. Yogurt, not sugar tubes of Go-Gurt. Okay, we're talking about actual Code Red yogurt that my mother thinks is sour cream.
It's a lot like sour cream.
Does it have that same tang, Christy?
Kind of. It's pretty close.
It's pretty close. Yeah. Well, it's probably the exact same thing, and they just go like this with the jars. Sour cream. Yogurt line. Sour cream line. They put different labels on it. Oh, we messed up. These last 100 have the yogurt labels. They'll never know.
Yeah.
The other thing is green tea. Chrissy drinks a lot of green tea. Really good for you guys. If you're going to drink something, why not brew up a cup of green tea, eat it cold, drink it hot, drink it cold. It's super good for you. Bell peppers. I love bell peppers. In fact, I was out today and had to go get some. I was like, I can't be cooking breakfast without bell peppers. We go through at least a couple of bell peppers every day. Almonds, another good immune booster food. Yep. And like Chrissy talked about, sleep. Sleep is huge. And we talk about sleep a lot on this podcast, but if you do not have glasses, you need to get them. Do you have yours right there, Christy?
I don't have them right here in front of me. The Swanwick Sleep glasses. We have a partnership with swanwicksleep.com, SWANWICK sleep.com. There they are. Carrie just put them on. She's wearing the night wear, and this blocks the blue light. And you can, if you enter the code REBEL, you'll get 15% off, which is significant. So swanwicksleep.com for sure.
And in fact, they are such cool people. They are just such cool people. We have a great relationship with them. They have even gone so far as to sponsor a lot of our events. And on our challenge pages, they have sponsored Q&As. So you need a pair of these to help yourself sleep. Right now, guys, you take care of you. Yep. You take care of you. And if a pair of glasses is going to help your immune system, I know you may think I'm crazy, but if you sleep, you're going to have better immunity. If this is going to do it for you, then by all means do it. You'll buy your bottle of wine.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, no amount of bell peppers is going to undo the damage of you drinking Red Bulls all night long and playing Fortnite until 3:30 in the morning. Like, it is baloney. If you're not getting your sleep and drinking your water, and you're still ordering Domino's. Like, don't give me, you have to get your diet cleaned up if you want your body to be strong enough to fight off infection.
Another thing that's really good for your immunity, if you're considering it, I'm just saying, adopt, don't shop, get a pet, guys. Get a pet. Kids, they've done studies, kids that were raised around pets actually have better immunity. It's true. You're exposed to more. Plus, not to mention all the pheromones and good hormones that are released when you pet them, when you hold them, you're getting out and moving. When you walk them, you're loving on them. Pets are super good for immunity. I mean, they have gone so far as people that are going through chemo to suggest that they get a pet to help. It, not only just emotionally, guys, pets, I just think it's amazing. Christy and I are huge. I just can't imagine raising a kid without a dog or a cat if you're a cat person. I just can't. Like, they never were exposed. Like, I have a friend that's deathly afraid of all dogs, doesn't want to be around them. She was never raised around them. It's very interesting.
And you know what? I have a neighbor, and you know what their cat's name is? Meow Meow.
Like Lady Elaine Fairchild's cat.
Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah. Meow, meow. Isn't that cute?
That's really like meow, 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 meow,
Yeah.
meow, 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 meow. That's cute. Guys, we've already said it, but stay away from empty calories. We want you to move every day. If you get a pet, that'll help because you'll be forced to walk them. Limit your alcohol. If you are a Code Red Rebel, you should not be drinking alcohol anyway. It will not help your immunity. And the two things I think are really important that if you are eating right and you want to boost, if you want to support your immune system, we we still have the immune bundle, Christy, or is it still
called? Yeah, we have the immune booster bundle for $99 and you get the MAG, the D3 and the probiotic. And that's a screaming deal. Free shipping on that bad boy. We get it out in priority mail, same day shipping.
Shameless plug, but I do want you to know that we can get you those things. You can take them just to give you that edge. Again, you cannot eat Pizza Hut every night and then take the immune bundle and think it's going to work. That will not work. But if you guys are already doing everything right and you're like, I'd like to up my game a little bit, because I'm sure that everyone listening here is absolutely doing everything right all the time. So if you're doing that, then I think that you could consider doing the immune bundle, getting a pair of the Swanwick Sleep. Also, if we can help you, obesity is a huge it drags down your immune system.
Oh my gosh.
So if we can help you even lose 5, 10, 15 pounds, if Code Red can help you, you are going to be healthier in so many ways. But since we're talking about immunity, it's going to make a big difference for your immune system.
Well, our society doesn't view obesity as a problem. It doesn't view overweight as unhealthy. And the bottom line is it's unhealthy. And it doesn't matter how pretty someone is. It doesn't, oh, she's beautiful. This whole big is beautiful movement. You still have a woman that is way too big. And yes, she is beautiful and she is worth, like, I'm not saying that her worth is wrapped up in her number, but the bottom line is she's not healthy. You're not healthy being massively overweight or morbidly obese. It's not okay. And it's not healthy. You got to take care of it. And even just losing 10 pounds on the 10-pound takedown would be huge. We have rolling challenges, monthly challenges. You can join us. Let us help you get the weight off.
I wanted to end with that because I do think that people forget. They're like, I'm so good. I had someone send me a panicked DM on Instagram about being heavy and what if an infection gets me? And I was like, but you know what to do. Listen, rebels that are listening to me right now, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already losing weight, keep going. If you haven't started, consider it, because your immunity is simply not what it could be because of the extra weight that you're carrying around. Also, your spinal load is not what it could be. Your knees are not what it could be. So many things are affected. Your life, your sleep, your happiness, your contentment, your level of being depressed. I mean, so many things are affected by weight. That's what we've dedicated our entire lives to, Christy and I, to sharing this message. But in the light of immunity, getting off even a little bit of weight is really going to help your immunity.
Yeah, absolutely. 10poundtakedown.com, the number 10 POUND takedown.com is where you can go to get started with us. It's only a $47 challenge. We'd love to have you join us. Carrie, thank you so much for such great content. I can't imagine that didn't help you. I know it did, guys. I know you love Code Red, you love the content, and we love coming to you and presenting this. So thank you, sis, so very much.
You're welcome.
You guys, we will see you on the next episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. Take care of yourself.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you're not subscribed already, please be sure to do that right now. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could do me a quick favor and rate and review this podcast. That would be just so helpful. Speaking of help, let me know if I can help you. Go to CodeRedLifestyle.com, check out my programs, and see what we can do for you. Until next time, Rebel on.